Welcome Minecraft EDU teachers to this tutorial about the custom NPC mod that I have used to create Lord Island, where there are all kinds of different characters that you can interact with if you were a student in my classroom. The purpose of this tutorial is to demonstrate two things. One, what it would be like to be a student interacting with the custom NPCs, and two, how a teacher can use custom NPCs to teach your lesson in the game of Minecraft EDU. As I enter Lord Island, you can see all these different characters on here, each one a custom NPC. Now the custom NPC mod allows you to create unique characters in the game, all of whom who have different roles, different responsibilities, different dialogues. It's a pretty cool feature to the game, pretty cool mod you can add. So if I were to quickly tour around the island, you can see right here is Lord Parkinson's castle. We'll visit with him in a little bit. Here's the Lord Island Trading Center. Right here is the Lord Island Bankers and Trust, and right here is the Lord Island Service Company. We'll visit each of these places so you can begin to understand how a custom NPC world might look. Alright, let's go talk to Lord Parkinson really quickly. And this custom NPC is designed to be the head of the colonies, the head of Lord Island. And one thing that's in our curriculum about the colonies was that the fur trade was really, really important. And so Lord Parkinson is only concerned with the fur trade, and he's willing to trade fur with me for a diamond. Now, what you'll see here when I click on Lord Parkinson is he brings up a quest. And his quest for me is to bring him back 10 leather pelts, and I can either accept or deny. This is an option when you create a custom NPC character to develop what's called a quest. I'm going to accept his quest, and I actually, since I stocked up with 10 leather pelts, I actually don't need to go find them. Notice at the bottom left it says quest complete. I'm just going to come right back to him with my 10 leather pelts, and you'll see that I've completed my quest, and when I select complete, a diamond shows up in my inventory. That's my payment from Lord Parkinson for bringing him 10 leather pelts. Now there's a few other custom NPCs in Lord Parkinson's castle. You can see Rover and then the Bard CJ, and actually if I were to click on Rover right here, he would ask for a bone in exchange for some gold, and I'm going to do that and add that to my inventory. And you can see how I'm interacting now with the different characters so far in this custom NPC world. Lord Parkinson sends me on a quest for leather, and Rover is willing to trade a bone for a piece of gold. And you can actually hear in the background my Bard CJ here entertaining those who visit Lord Parkinson. The purpose of this lesson for my students was to understand colonial economics and really the overall principle of economics on how people use and manage their resources. And this is where my students would go to really determine the value of goods in this game and the value of their own goods that they're growing or creating or producing in the colonies that they've created. So my first stop here as I look around, there's a lot of different characters in here that I've created in this custom NPC world. I'm going to visit with the currency exchange guy, and this is where my students can figure out the value of the currency. One of the tasks that I give to the students in this particular game when they are producing their own goods is to put a price on their goods that they want to trade and sell for. And so they need to visit the trader right here, a role that I can give to custom NPC characters to determine the value of the currency in the game. And you can see here this trader is willing to trade gold for emeralds and emeralds for diamonds and golds for diamonds. Notice that I have a diamond. I'm actually going to trade. I'd like to stock up on six gold here, so I'm actually going to trade him a diamond for 6 gold, and there we go. And I'd like to get a couple emeralds here, so I think I'll get 2 emeralds. And now notice my inventory, I have 3 gold and 2 emeralds. I can even exchange some of my agricultural products with this character, and I'm going to grab another gold from him for 10 of my wheat. So notice how I've added to my inventory and changed my inventory. If I were a student coming here with agricultural products or goods or services or whatever I do in this colonial world, I can come to this trader and swap out some of my currency for other items. Alright, and then I could come in here and trade with all kinds of different people, like for instance War General. I could trade for any war items or anything that I'd like to find. I can go to Joe Dirt. Notice that he says I sell the best weapons. Joe Dirt says life's a garden, dig it, buy tools. You know, in this game tools are pretty important. I'm going to get an iron pickaxe from him so I can do a little mining later. And notice my inventory down here, it went from 4 gold to 2 gold because I purchased this iron pickaxe from him. If I go to Trade and Tunes, he sells his own musical wares, and I can buy a jukebox or any of his CDs from him for a certain price. Now, I don't have enough currency for this trader. I'd have to maybe go back to the currency exchange character to acquire enough things to buy a jukebox. But I'm gonna let him be, and I'm gonna go talk to Tradey Stuff right here. And Tradey Stuff has a lot of different things that he's willing to trade for. And let's see, if I'm going to mine, I might need a mine card eventually, or maybe a little TNT. Now, I don't have a diamond to buy TNT from him, but I am going to get a little flint and steel because when I mine, I might need to make some fire in my mine that will keep things lit up. So now I have a couple items that I can use for this game. Let's go to Chief Trades a lot and see. Boy, he's got some really unique things here. I'm going to buy a skeleton skull from him just as something to decorate my mine with. And notice the amount of currency I have is actually going down every time I purchase something. So if I were a student coming into the Lord Island Trading Center, I'm able to buy, sell, trade items for all kinds of different things, all because I established this with custom NPCs. Let's go to the Bankers and Trust here, and I'll show you a couple other roles in custom NPCs. One of the roles is a banker, and you can see all of these characters in here. If I were to click on this individual right here, gold, he will store my gold, and looks like he has 1 gold already in the bank from earlier that I deposited there, so I'll take that back from him. And let's see if I have anything in my emerald bank. And I do. I have an emerald. I don't believe I have anything in the diamond bank. Oh, I do. So now I can store this in my inventory. Thank you, sir. And notice they all say they'll protect my precious items. And Mo Beats right here playing a little music. You can hear him playing in the background. You know, as most banks, if you go in, they have some tunes in the background. Here, let's head over to the service company on Lord Island. And probably one of the coolest features of custom NPCs is you can make your own characters that you can hire. And I've created 3 characters here, one Mr. Tunes, a Doc, and then a Kung Fu Kid, all of who have a different role in the game. So if I were to click on Mr. Tunes, I can actually hire him for up to 3 days, and he'll follow me around and play music for each of those days. I think I'm going to wait with Mr. Tunes, and let's see what Doc costs here. So Doc, I could hire him for several days for emeralds, and he'll follow me around and heal me as I go. Or I could hire Kung Fu Kid for diamonds, and I'm going to hire him for 1 day for him to follow me around. And he says, "Thank you for hiring me. I'll protect you." Hiya! And he's got my back. So he'll actually follow me around. I'll show you how to make a character that will follow you, that you can also give a role to protect you, like Kung Fu Kid. Alright, so let's go ahead and leave the Lord Island Service Company. You know, one of the things that people did back then too was a bartering system, and I can visit Chef here, and I can use the bartering system to trade food for food. When I click on Chef, let's see, I'm selling potatoes. Alright, I'm going to grab 2 bread for 5 potatoes, and you can see my inventory is changing down here. And I'm also going to grab a couple steaks, so now I can have a meal. Alright, so how does this mod work? I think this could take a long time in a simple tutorial like this to show you how to create these characters. So I want to give you just a quick run through and show you 3 simple tools that I've used on this island. The NPC wand is what you'll use to create the characters that you see throughout the island. The mob cloner is how I've created these individuals that are all looking the same right here, all of these English guards. And last but not least, the NPC pather, which will allow you to set a path for these characters to walk on. And you can see all these English guards pacing back and forth. I've set a path up. So I'm actually going to leave the island here, and I'm going to go right to the spawn dock, where I'm going to spawn a couple characters for you. Notice Kung Fu Kid, he's actually hanging out. But I'm going to use my wand, and let me quick show you where you get that at here. Notice I've made Silk the custom character. I'll edit him in a moment. But if I pull up my inventory, I need to be on creative mode. If I pull up my inventory and go over, you'll see there's a lot of different things. If you have the custom NPCs mod, you can have different blocks that are not normally in the game. You can have different weapons, etc. But again, I'm concerned with the tools, and these are the tools that I'm using. I've already equipped myself with these tools. And I use this custom NPC wand to create this character. Now it generates a character, and this happened to be named Silk. I'm going to change his name. I'm just going to call him Custom NPCs. so you know how this works. And again, I can do a lot of different things. I can change the model. This is kind of the fun part. I can change the model of this character. Let's see, what would I like to make? I will create I'm going to create a skeleton, and now I'll change his name, Skeletor. Alright, and I'm going to make this character somebody that Kung Fu Kid has to battle here in a moment. And I'll show you how to do that. Now, I don't believe you can change the texture of a skeleton, but you can certainly mess with all of these features on here. And again, I encourage you to go to YouTube and check out how to use this stuff. There's a lot of people on YouTube that know what they're doing. I want to give you just a quick tutorial on how to make something really neat for your class. Alright, you can change their stats. You can make these characters almost invincible. You can make them immune to fire. You can keep them from drowning, etc., etc. I could go on and on. I'm not going to go into that. There's artificial intelligence options. Typically, I just like to select stalking, and when you see these characters looking around, that's what they're doing. If you see them walking a path, that's because I've created a moving path for them. I'm going to give him that so you can see how the pather works. Inventory, I can give him different items now. I don't really have a lot of weapons for him, but since I do have an iron pickaxe, I'll just equip him with an iron pickaxe. I don't think you could see him with that. Let's go to advanced. Now I can give him a role, and this is where I've created the traders, followers, banks, and then there's some other ones, transporters, mailmans, etc. I can make him a trader, and I will edit that. And again, basically, if you were to go to this character, Skeletor, you could buy a potato or whatever you'd like to do for a gold. And now I've given him a trading role, and then again, that's under the advanced tab. I could also give him a job, and this is where I got the bard, the healers, the guards, etc. And so this individual that I create could have a role, could have a job, could even have lines. And when I say lines, I mean what they were going to say. And most of the characters that I've created have interact lines. And I can have him say whatever he wants to say. So, what's up? Alright, very good. I could even give him an attack line. Bring it on. You can take these characters as far as you want to go with all of these different options. Now I'm going to show you how the pather and cloners work, and I'll start with the pather. So if I were to click on Skeletor, and if I just were to click somewhere else on here, it'll set up a path for him to follow, and you'll see that he's actually following the path that I've set out for him. Alright, and last but not least, the mob cloner. If I were to click on Skeletor here and save, if I wanted to make an army of skeletons, I could certainly do that. And notice I created a custom NPC exactly like the ones I've already created. Imagine if a student knew how to use custom NPCs, the incredible characters that they could make, that they could design, and they could interact with in the game. This game opens up so many possibilities for students. Check out the custom NPCs mod, equip it, learn how to use it, show your students. They're going to love it, I promise. Check this thing out and start using it, because it's going to enhance the Minecraft EDU experience for you and your students. Until next time, happy Minecrafting.